Hi there, guys, and welcome to another episode of EDH Geeks. And in this episode, we're so happy to talk about what's being released in Kaldheim. And I can hardly believe this, but it looks like currently, at this point, that there are, in fact, so far, at least two squirrel cards in this set, and there might be some more. Who knows? This is just blowing my mind that they're even putting these cards into standard as well. But these cards are going to be available for us, the commander players, of course. But these cards are quite good in the decks that we probably want to put them in, which is Squirrel Tribal, because any squirrel is a squirrel that we'll put into Squirrel Tribal because it's Squirrel Tribal and we just need more squirrels. Now, obviously, some people are like, Adam, what are you talking about? There's only been one squirrel revealed in Kaldheim. Ah, that is where you're wrong, my friend. That is where you're wrong, and I am going to prove it to you. Perhaps there's some slight shenanigans and the card doesn't exactly say that it's a squirrel, but you'll see what I mean in just a few moments as we get into discussing these great squirrel cards for the commander format. Now, the actual squirrel, the first squirrel that we've gotten our mince pies onto is Toseki, Bearer of Secrets. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, but if I'm wrong, I'm sorry if I cannot pronounce a made up word the same way that some people would pronounce it. 3 and a green, 1/1. Legendary creature squirrel. So this is a mono green squirrel. This spell can't be countered, so it's a non countable squirrel. He's indestructible, he or she, not sure. When it attacks, or when attacks each combat if able, and whenever a creature we control deals combat damage to a player, we draw a card. So a lot of these abilities are pretty good. Can't be countered. Yep, sure. I mean, like I know a few people run some of those winding constrictor sort of cards so that they can have their cats not be counted or whatnot. Things like that. That's just fine. Some cards that just happen to be uncounterable are just fine. This is just another fine ability on a 1/1, but it's also indestructible, so you're just hard to get rid of. You've got to exile this thing. It attacks each combat if able, and again, that doesn't really matter that much. A 1/1 is not that scary, again, unless there's about 1,000 of them or whatever. But again, we are looking to do that with this deck. But this is just card draw in our deck because we're going to have a lot of squirrels in our deck, or a lot of other squirrels, punching through for damage. And when we hit people, we're just going to draw cards. So the indestructibility, some people might be like, well, it's indestructible. Like, if I block it, it does nothing. If I don't block it, it's just 1 damage, and they draw a card. So is that really that bad? I don't know. Plus, it sort of has haste. So if you happen to have a bunch of squirrels already on the field, and you just happen to play this and then hit people with your squirrels, you're going to loot through a few. Well, not loot through, but you're going to get through a few cards. For your. This is a great payoff for you. Attacking each combat if able. Again, it doesn't really matter. Like, again, it's indestructible. What are they going to do? They're going to block it? Again, like, it's not like it has great evasion or whatever, but it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's a 1/1. We can make it bigger somehow. There's ways. And we certainly do have ways in most of the Squirrel Tribal sort of area that we want to go in for the main part of this, because we want to be Squirrel Tribal with this card. I want to put it at least in my Squirrel Tribal deck. I know that some people might want to build Squirrel Tribal around this. Unfortunately, realistically, I think mono green squirrels, yeah, most of the good squirrels are in green, but the thing is, most of the squirrel cards are silver border cards. So you might have to just go that way, and I think green black squirrels is just a little bit better, because you get access to more a couple more squirrels, and you also get access to actually some decent targeted removal for creatures, and you get some actual real board wipes. So I think that this just goes in the 99 of that deck. But certainly, if some people want to build mono green squirrels or just mono green tokens, and it's mostly built around squirrels, I think that'd be kind of fun. But again, it's sort of copying what I wanted to do in my squirrel deck. So I'm just like, don't do that, but don't do it because I want to see the squirrels. See the squirrels everywhere. But anyway, guys, yeah, this card seems quite good, and just drawing a few cards here and there, or whatever on its own, or if you have some other, and as I say, squirrels or other cards that you can freely get in there with, again, this is just going to draw you a few cards, so that's pretty good, especially for the cost that it's at. Um, what it does on its own is not that amazing, being a 1/1, but when you put other things around it, it is really quite good. If you have Beastmaster Ascension, suddenly this is this 5/5, or is this a 6/6? I think they get +5/+5. I think that's right. And eventually, if you can give them trample, it's like, wow, wow, So there are some certain things that you can do with things like this, and it'll certainly be an upgrade to another card that's in my current deck that not really that good, but it's in there because I need to draw some cards. So this will go in there quite nicely. The next and perhaps most surprising squirrel is Realmwalker. It is a 2 and a green 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, we choose a creature type. This creature has changing, so it is every creature type. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library. So again, this is just more of a squirrel-esque card advantage card, and that's where we want to put it. Like, again, you could put it in other tribes, I'm sure, but for what we want, this is a squirrel. We're just going to play it as a squirrel. Name squirrels. There's not that many squirrels in our deck, again, but even so, we still want to name squirrels because that's what our deck is doing for the most part. And the jankiness of that is just the thing that we really want. So I told you, it's not quite literally a squirrel, but it is a squirrel when we play it. It is every creature type, and when we name squirrels, well, it might as well be a squirrel, And when we cast it is, as I said, every type, or when it enters it is every type, so it counts as a squirrel, it counts as everything else as well, but that doesn't matter for our purposes. But again, it's just going to go in a bunch of tribal decks, and this is our tribal deck. We're talking about squirrels. We want to get our squirrels in there, and we want to get combat damage through. That's what our deck's doing. And, if we're, just had a board wipe, either we want to get our squirrels back from the graveyard, or we want to try to top deck squirrels so that we can flood the board back up again with our squirrels and take over the game. And even if we can't literally cast the card on the top of our deck because it's one of the random weirdo druids or whatever else that's in our deck, just to make our deck viable in what we're actually doing, well, that doesn't matter. At least it's sort of scry one, I guess. I don't know. At least sometimes it gives you that moment to scry. And sometimes it will let you cast something off the top of your library. And if they make more squirrels again, which would be good, then, you can use this thing to cast more of those squirrels. And again, with Toseki, or whatever, Toseki, whatever his name is, this little bearer of secrets boy, we can play him off of this, and we can play a bunch of the other squirrels in our deck. It's not like there's no squirrels in our deck, but it is mostly druids and hermits and whatnot and things like this. So, but anyway, these are the squirrels so far. There might be more. I hope there certainly are. And wizards have done it. They've done it. Oh, uh, it's so nice to sort of see. These cards are certainly like again Realmwalker. It goes in just about any deck, and you just like, oh, you know what, dragons. Okay, it's dragon tribal card now. In those in when you're in green, and green is really good to be in. Um, as I say, it's like, well, why not run it? It's sort of a free roll. Might as well. It's sort of another Beast Whisperer, but it's only for tribal cards, which is just fine. Because again, if you're in that tribe, now this is the biggest weakness of tribal cards, or whatever, of tribal in of itself, is that you either run out of gas too quickly, or you get board wiped. Because like everything that says destroy all of X creature, suddenly now you have none of your creatures, and they still have all of theirs, or maybe -1 because they happen to have one elf or whatever randomly, but it didn't hurt them that much. Or they have one dragon or whatever, but it didn't hurt them that much. Again, so if you plant this down and you go, okay, well, maybe I'll hit one or two of my cards off the top, that's just good enough. Like it digs you through your deck, and at least it gives you information to say, hey, okay, I know what card's coming next. I can strategize around playing that for next turn, and it gives you pseudo another card in your hand, especially when your hand is like empty or semi-empty. It's like, well, just having that almost that one extra card in your hand is very good, as I say. But anyway, guys, like I said, you know, I'm very happy. They've printed both of these cards, and as I said, it's a little bit of a cheat with Realmwalker, but whatever. We'll take it because it's a squirrel, no matter what. But, I hope they certainly do print more squirrels, and I know that there's some people that are out there that, want different tribes. They want beast tribal, they want this tribal, they want insect tribal, I don't know, spider tribal and whatnot. There's heaps of tribal synergies and whatnot out there. So I know people want to brew with Realmwalker in all sorts of decks. So it'll probably be a bit more chase than the little squirrel boy, bearer of the secrets there. I still can't pronounce his first name, but whatever. As I said, you know, just an auto run, probably in Commander. Again, probably not that big in Standard, unless Tribal really becomes big. Like this little squirrel, he's probably not gonna make much of an impact. He doesn't do enough probably at the CMC that he is at to really do that much. I mean, unless you're really going wide, I don't think you'll find much Standard play. So I think it'll probably be like a 50-cent rare. But that's all right. That's fine for us Commander players. We'll take him, and I'll put him in my deck certainly, as I say. But again, guys, I love squirrels. Squirrels are my absolute favorite of all time. They're the most janky and just dumb tribes. And if you haven't seen my video about squirrels, then you can find my video floating around here somewhere. Hopefully, I'll put up the link. Or it is on my YouTube here somewhere, so you can find it pretty easily anyway. Search up squirrels, or I love squirrels, I think that's what it's called. But anyway, guys, that's been the end of the video for today, and there is more Cowtime spoilers coming. As I said, hopefully there's more squirrels. But thank you so much, Wizards, for at least putting a few in this set. I think that there's snowmen in this set as well, so that will be very interesting. There's a lot of interesting things coming out in Cowtime, and I would love to talk about them. And if you want to see more of that sort of thing, you better subscribe to this channel so that you can get further updates and further discussions about the things that I like squirrels and whatnot. And if you would like to, like and share and comment, that would be helpful as well. Help support the channel, help get these more videos out there, help get the production values of these videos up. If you want to do more than that, of course, those things are for free. If you want to actually support us with money, then of course we have our Patreon, and we try to do more and more on our Patreon for our patrons. So there's more exclusive over there, little perks and whatnot for donating to the channel. But yeah, hope that you have enjoyed, as I say, and hope you will tune into another video. And if you do, be glad to see you again.